So Dave, what happened to Little Bear and Renee?
Well, evidently they ran aground in the entrance to the harbor. First rain went aground, and then next thing you know, Little Bear's aground.
Well, we do have help.
We waved over a fisherman, sent him out, and there's another fisherman out there. So we're just going to go into a holding pattern here for a short while. I don't want to get stuck myself. So worst comes to worst, we'll tie up at the Marker 17 bar and have a beer till they're done.
It's been 5 years since the Space Park sailors first raised the Texas Star over the beautiful brown, muddy waters of Double Bayou, Texas. We've come a long way since 1997, when some of us Texans didn't understand which part of the flag was up.
Today we're scattered all about the country. Lee's in Seattle, John's in Orlando, and Ed and I still call Texas home.
This Lone Star has flown on so many boats ever since we've known each other. This is the original one. Someday when they build the Space Park Sailors Memorial in Washington, D.C., this flag will be encased in glass.
I think you'll ever fly over Cabbage Key.
It's our country's flag.
The 2002 sailing reunion was underway. Our destination, Cabbage Key in Captiva Islands, Florida. The boat, Sojourner, a 31-foot island packet chartered out of Burnt Store Marina on Charlotte Harbor.
Our heading out of Burnt Store was almost due west. Maintaining a course for 3 hours would put us at Cayo Costa around noon. The weather, not too cold, not too hot, and unfortunately, not much wind.
These are the 9 o'clock a.m. observations for the local area on Sunday, November 3rd. At Fort Myers Page Field, it was partly sunny. The temperature was 72 degrees, the dew point 64, and the relative humidity 76%. The wind was east at 6 miles an hour. The pressure was 30.15 inches and rising.
72 degrees and blue sky. But it would have been nice to have a little more wind than 6 knots. Of course, having come all the way from Seattle, where it rains 9 months out of the year, I wasn't going to complain.
How are we doing as far as the wind? Is that about right on wind?
We're dead down on the wind.
Dead down on the wind.
Dead down on the wind. What do you got, 0?
Between 240 and 245.
That ought to do. Oh, you know what I was reading down here last night, 080. I see what you're talking about. You're right, you know what I was doing? I was reading in front of the compass. It looks like we're going to be a wing on wing. Should we float across, Lee?
Yeah.
Let me know when you're steady up.
Doesn't look like wing on wing to me.
You know, it is right now. Bring it over.
Are you on the right bearing, Jerry?
I'm on close here.
Okay. Who's
Who's driving this damn thing?
Do we need a new helmsman? Out of everybody on here, I think Lee's probably the best helmsman. I've been told many times that I'm the worst.
Oh, really?
Because unlike Ed, I'm looking around wanting to sail the whole boat. And the helmsman needs to have focused concentration, and I have problems in that area.
Every sailor is a photographer, but there's always that one angle tough to get when you're underway. With 2 DV cameras, 6 hours of videotape, and 3 digital still cameras on board, someone was going to try.
You want me to get this, put this guy over here closer to you?
I think if you pull it or let it loose too much, it'll just head down. Let it get settled before you let it go.
Right, I will.
Whenever you're ready.
Bye.
Now this is sailing. Somebody toss me a beer. I'm just sitting back here in the dinghy. Everybody else is on the boat. I was voted off the boat.
John!
Hey! You'll be forever immortalized on the tape. Who's driving that boat?
Hey, what do you think of that tattoo?
I'm just glad it wasn't zoomed in.
Give me the time. Give me a timestamp and then give me that. What time is it?
I have 9:43.
9:45.
9:45.
Okay, give me the Latin long.
26 degrees.
Okay, start 26 degrees.
26 degrees, 45 minutes, 22 seconds north. 82 degrees, 82, 06, 77 west.
Okay, thank you.
Our 9:45 position showed us that we were pretty much right smack in the middle of Charlotte Harbor. Maintaining course would put us at the Intercoastal Waterway near Cayo Costa. From there, it would be a short distance further where we would anchor for lunch.
Oh yeah, that's for a beer. Say, that's great for Paul.
No!
We and Dave rode the dinghy to shore at Cayo Costa State Park. After that, we motored back to the Intercoastal Waterway and headed south 3 or 4 miles to visit Cabbage Key.
After we docked at Cabbage Key, we pulled out the cameras, just for the record. With all these cameras on board, sometimes we got ourselves into one of those infinite loops. You know, here's Dave taking a picture of Lee, taking a picture of me, taking a picture of Ed, taking a picture of Dave, taking a picture of Lee, taking a picture of me. Well, anyhow, you get the picture.
Cabbage Key is one laid-back island. The only way to get here is by boat. This is just the place you might want to wash ashore after getting lost at sea on one of those 3-hour tours. Could this be Gilligan's Island? Okay, Terry the dockmaster must be the skipper. But here's our version of Gilligan.
What are you going to do? Set that on the table over there?
Yeah, put it up.
The only bar and restaurant on the island is known for its greenery. No grass shack here. Those are dollar bills, autographed and posted to the wall by its patrons. At the end of the day, we motored away from the dock and dropped anchor between Giuseppe Island and Cabbage Key.
Sunset over Cabbage Key.
Yep.
Gorgeous as well.
Sunset over Paradise, isn't it?
It don't get any better than this.
It doesn't. It just flat doesn't.
liable to break his camera.
Throughout the night we heard some bumping sound. It turns out we had manatees swimming next to the boat.
I found those manatees really fascinating. They're like great big dogs in the water, great big friendly dogs. Well, actually, they're curious dogs. They were really curious about me. I'd take and splash my hand in the water, and they just kind of come up to the surface and check me out. Once they saw what I was about, why, they'd just kind of slowly swim away.
By 10 o'clock we had left the manatees behind and were now headed south down the intercoastal to Captiva. South Seas Plantation Resort Marina, South Seas Marina. This is sailing vessel Sojourner, over.
Sojourner, South Seas, switch to 6-8. Do you copy 6-8?
Copy, going to 6-8. Sailing vessel Sojourner, standing by on 6-8.
South Seas, go ahead.
Okay, we're coming in for check-in to the marina for overnight stay, over.
Hey, Roger, you just need one night or more than one night?
Just for tonight only, and we're just headed in the channel here to the marina.
It's hard to stay between the markers when you're going sideways as much as forward. At one point in the channel, we had to steer 20 degrees to port just to adjust for an outgoing tidal current.
We're really getting set. Look at this.
No kidding, we're going like sideways.
No, grab it.
This is Sojourner, go ahead.
Hey, come on into the end of B dock, Bravo dock. That's the portside timeout first entry.
Okay, copy that. B dock on port side dockage there.
That's right.
Okay, this is Sojourner, clear. Thanks. Our first priority once we secured the boat was to scout out the resort and ask recommendations for the best place to grab lunch. We ended up taking the tram to the other end of the resort to try Chadwick's all-you-can-eat buffet. South Seas Plantation on Captiva Island is more refined than Cabbage Key. Besides the restaurant, the resort property features condos for rent, jet ski rentals, tour boats to places like Cabbage Key and Yusepa Island, and a swimming pool near a convenient pool bar. For those that like to play golf, there's a 9-hole golf course that follows the ocean.
Ed and I were thinking nap after lunch. John and Lee thought otherwise. Redfish Pass was just minutes from the marina. There was still plenty of time for a day sail on the emerald waters of the Gulf of Mexico.
Blue water sailing.
Green water sailing.
Close enough.
Next stop, Yucatan. Now this is what I came out here for.
You know, I have to say, I kind of like being in a place where you can actually see, okay, there's the shallow. It's marked by the sand pit.
Well, you know, South Pacific's that way. You can spot the corals, the coral reefs. That's why you want to go into, that's why they don't go in at night. They go in high noons and the light's reflecting straight in. I read a lot. I don't do it, I just read it.
Okay, you can see off in the distance where the light green is, it's about 2 or 3 feet deep. Now we're in the deepest part of the channel. Our depth finder's out, but it looks like, just guessing from the charts, we're probably at about 20 or 30 feet deep here in the middle of the channel. We're in Redfish Pass, between Captiva and North Captiva Island.
Let's talk sailing techno jargon for a moment. Sailing terminologies change when you put 4 aerospace computer geeks on a sailboat for 3 straight days.
Houston, we have a problem here. We have a line trailing behind our dinghy. And I think we need to do a feasibility study on how we're going to retrieve that line. And we decided that Lee will write up a procedure. Maybe John could be our safety officer. And we'll have to document it all.
I think we're going to need an environmental impact statement on this one too. I mean, we're in the water. We could have very detrimental consequences if we don't do this right.
One of the options I suppose we have is to do an EVA.
What's an EVA?
Extravehicular activity, or only in our case it would be an EVA, extravehicular activity, and actually put a man in a suit in the dinghy to bring the line in. However, we'd have to get safety involved.
I think we just need to throw Lee over and let him catch it on the way out.
Well, wait a minute. What we're talking about here are some options analysis. Okay, we've got 2 options before us now. I think we also ought to do some analysis. Maybe the other one is just grab one of those, grab that pole, pull the dinghy in, reach down with the pole and pull the line in.
Now wait a minute, guys. Let's look at the real problem here. I mean, the real problem is if we back up and that line and that dinghy come this way, the real problem is we may get that line caught in the prop.
Okay, I got one statement here, one statement only. Do I have a charge line for this? 'Cause if I don't have a charge line, I'm not going to even do the feasibility study.
You have to charge it to overhead
Why is this overhead?
because it affects the operation of the whole boat.
Wait a minute now, I don't agree with that. I don't think that this should be charged to overhead. I think that this is an additional item to the mission in itself that was not called out when we first left the dock.
What do you say, John? What were you saying about wasting food?
Okay, let's cut the crap here. We got to get that line in that boat before it ends up in the prop.
Step 1, haul in the line. Step 2,
Fall in the water.
hook it with the boat hook.
Oh man! Got her?
Got the line.
No, you don't. It's probably just as safe where it is, don't you think?
Still got some of the line in the water.
Yeah, we do. All right, we got her. All right, mission accomplished.
What was that? What'd you say?
I think we got a mission accomplished here. The line is in the boat safely, out of any danger of being caught in the prop. When it comes time to actually motor into the marina, what we'll end up doing is pulling the dinghy in, tying it up right up against the stern of the boat so it's not wandering around there with a bunch of slack line.
We need to debrief now?
Debriefing, yeah, debriefing is at 1600.
Oh yeah, time for a beer.
Hey Lee, can you hand me a beer?
Yeah. Is the church killing all right?
Yeah, that'd be great, that'd be great, that'd be great, thank you.
Oh yeah, time for a beer.
Oh yeah, time for a beer.
Time for a beer.
Oh yeah, time for a beer.
Yeah, time for a beer.
You want that in there, Phil? Fall back. Have a good day.
All good adventures have to come to an end sometime. Today's sailing would take us back to Burnt Store where this adventure began. We chose an offshore route rather than return by way of the Intracoastal Waterway.
You see shoal here too.
Yeah, don't cut that corner.
You see water breaking out there too on the sand, see it? Yeah.
It was our obligation and duty to let our wives and family know we were on the way back. We were headed out the pass, but still within range for us to send email from my wireless PDA. At 7:45 this morning, we are underway. A return trip to Burnt Store takes us out Redfish Pass into the Gulf. Winds are out of the east at less than 10 knots, smooth sailing. And now I'm going to go ahead and press send. Oh, guess I need to put a distribution list together for this one. Okay, who can we send this to?
Okay, I'm coming about. Hey Lee, on your way back in, would you rig a preventer?
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Most of our sailing was downwind and extremely enjoyable, but once we made the turn into Boca Grande Pass, we realized how much the wind had picked up. It was a rocket ride all the way through the cut.
We're in the trough here. That's a good roll.
Now a video of Ed taking video.
A little video of Ed taking video. So what did we decide? The crossing will be
2005. That gives us plenty of time to get the boat.
get it rigged.
We get plenty of time to talk Karen into it.
Okay. So we're talking probably
Save some vacation up.
end of March, 1st of May. Right around the 1st of May. Spring break.
So we have a minimum of one boat crossing. If we end up having more than one boat, two boat crossings. We get.
That would be just more than one boat.
That's true. Well, yeah, but I don't think we can go three boats. Unless John wants to buy a boat.
Can you windsurf there?
Yeah, John.
Oh! Okay, starting to get rough now.
Oh yeah, we're rocking and rolling here.
So, do you want the camera to be level with the earth or level with the boat? Where do you get the most effect out of?
Level with the horizon.
Would you really want that?
Yeah.
Yeah, because then you get the feel of we're tipping, whereas this guy, as far as he can tell, we're.
You see the...
That's true.
You see the horizon
That's true.
behind
You see the horizon,
John
right?
is probably getting it.
All right. Well, let me do some level with the boat.
see, you need some really good, you know, like beveling thing.
Yeah, some sort of gyro measurement.
Scope.
Our trip was almost over, and it was a little late to try to figure out how to position the cameras. At this point, what you see is what you get.
Could we fly that same Lone Star across the Gulf?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, and then at the completion of that run, I'll frame it.
With the wind steadily increasing, we averaged over 5 knots and made the 26 nautical mile trip back to Burnt Store in just 5 hours.
Some of the best winds we had came at the end of the sail. We can only hope for more of the same next year.
The end of the trip is always the worst part because you know you have to go back to work again. But it is also the best part because you can start thinking about and planning next year's trip.
You know, tying up the boat after a sail like this is a lot like doing the dishes after a Thanksgiving meal. Lee, you do the washing. John, you do the drawing. Anybody needs me, I'll be right over here taking a nap.
It's behind
Yep, that's me. Dishwashing Lee. But I tell you, I'd do all the dishes in Florida for another sailing trip like this one.
Hey Lee, pass me that plate over there.
Whoops. We just woke Dave up.